This video is not directed to any person here on YouTube, not any user, not any purpose to berate someone or point this video towards someone, but I'm gonna discuss an attitude or a phenomenon right now that seems to be among some wrestling fans in the IWC, and that is blood. This discussion has come up due to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up in 8 days. Much like you had the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in June, then you also had this discussion. If there is not gonna be any blood, this pay-per-view is gonna suck. And those people know it, because blood is what does great wrestling. It's not great action, not the possibility to tell a story with your face, not the ability to speak, not the ability to act, not the ability to make what happens in the ring look credible, being technical. None of that matters, because all that matters is blood. Blood, 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 blood. And people they are so upset, so overly upset about this, and so pissed off, because they already know that the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is gonna suck, because there will be no blood on it. I don't see it, because let me tell you this. First off, people haven't even seen this pay-per-view yet. What's the point of being so over-the-top negative about something you have not even seen? And I also, well, from this point, I believe that these people will not watch the pay-per-view, because some people claim, well, the pay-per-view will suck, okay, so they know the pay-per-view will suck, and they are not going to give the pay-per-view a chance. So by that I assume that none of these people are actually going to watch the pay-per-view. Because, I mean, what sane and rational person is going to sit down in a couch, watch something for 3 hours that he on beforehand knows is going to suck? Well, no one, I guess. And secondly, just because there ain't blood in any match doesn't mean that the match automatically sucks. And third, just because there is blood in a match doesn't mean that the match itself automatically becomes great and awesome. Man, did you see blood? Because what's the point? What's so exciting about seeing someone cutting themselves in the head to the point where their entire face is covered by crimson mask, red by blood, and they're more or less passing out due to losing so much blood? What's the point of that? What's so exciting with that? Yes, there is a place in wrestling where blood could be maybe even required or needed to get that extra mile, extra inch in the match. It could be like the Bret Hart Stone Cold match at WrestleMania 13, where Bret Hart, it was a submission match, Bret Hart locked Stone Cold in a submission. Stone Cold refused to tap out. He was in that move for 5 minutes. He was in screaming agony. He was in so much pain, but he never wanted to give up until he passed out and lost the match. The fact that he also had blood all over his face, that made that picture so much stronger and so much easier to understand. Here was a guy, he was so beat up, he was in so much pain, he more or less was on the verge of breaking. Literally, his body was about to break. Yet he did not tap out, and the blood helped telling that story as to what of a hero he was. And maybe it was the blood that turned him face that night, because he was, as I said, he became a hero overnight. Yeah, he had fans before that, but that was the final step. That's how you use blood. Or maybe even you have a wrestler being so beat up, so dominated, he's beaten to a bloody pulp, there's no chance in hell he's ever gonna come back in this match. No way whatsoever. But miracle happens, and this guy comes back. From somewhere he finds energy, muster it up, and is able to counterattack, beat his opponent down, and by golly, win the match. Then that blood also will help tell the story, because this guy, it makes the guy look even more dominated, doomed, because he's beat up, he's bloody. I mean, anyone who's beat up and bloody, they are screwed. There's no way in hell they're gonna come back and win. It's not like you see a hockey player playing hockey covered in blood, because if they bleed, that's equivalent of stepping off the ice and be away for at least one game, or the rest of that game. You don't come back in. I mean, people who do come back under a hockey game with their head taped up, they become heroes. And that's how you need to use blood. There is no use for blood just for the sake of bleeding. Okay, we have had a Hell in a Cell match. It's brutal, so everyone is gonna bleed. No point. No point whatsoever. There was an overuse of blood during the Attitude Era. Definitely. Attitude Era was great, interesting and all that, but there was an overuse in blood. People bled in every damn match. It's rated PG right now, and people are just looking for ways to condemn the WWE and bust them for being rated PG. So they are gonna just be so narrow-minded, and all they are gonna focus on this upcoming pay-per-view is blood. They're not gonna watch the matches. They're not gonna watch the story being told in the ring. All thing they're gonna watch for is blood, and they know it. For some weird reason, they already know it. I mean, the pay-per-view is 8 days away, but they already know what's gonna happen. Like I say, pay-per-views are not. They are exclusive events that you buy. They are not restricted with as many liabilities as the weekly shows are. Because if you have wrestlers bleeding weekly, parents will not allow children to watch, and that means there will be no watchers, or viewers of wrestling. So, but pay-per-views, they do not have that all those liabilities. So there could very well be blood in some of these Hell in a Cell matches, but there could also not be blood. And even though there might not be blood in any of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, there could as well be great wrestling matches, awe-inspiring, entertaining, and despite there is blood in all of them, maybe every damn wrestler that steps into the Hell in a Cell that night will bleed. Could very well still mean that every match will suck. The blood doesn't fill any purpose itself. The blood helps building the match, the story, the wrestling match, the action going on. Blood is an instrument to help something else get over, to help build something else. Blood in itself has no value whatsoever in wrestling. And if people are so keen on seeing blood, there is many other ways you can watch that. There is no reason to get all rallied up, so emotional and so fucking pissed off over something that you don't know. What's the reason of watching something that makes people so pissed off? I mean, if I get pissed off by watching something, or I think something sucks, do I watch it? No. Do I try to be some kind of watch into the future, have my crystal ball and see, oh, this is gonna happen, and I will doom everything before I see it? No, because that takes all the fun away. And it also risks of making me look stupid if I'm wrong, and people might take me up on it. So people, come on.